Hey everybody, welcome back to Champ and Sons, and we are back in Austin Zoo, a part of our Planet Zoo series that we have going on. But I'm pretty sure you're noticing something different in terms of the zoo's pretty much gone behind it. Well, I really didn't like where the zoo was going before, so I basically just decided to start it over again. Um, put more of an entrance area that I I think this looks better than what it was before. Um, it's a little bit more cohesive than it was before, so that's kind of my theory behind it. Now you'll notice the buildings and all that right now for the entrance are the same. I did get bring the buildings over. I have that one little entrance planter and sign I'm going to bring over um, to put there in this entrance place, little plaza also. And then my basically the center statue, you'll see that make an appearance, the little centerpiece in that actual entrance plaza once you're into the zoo. That will be making a return. Um, and so yeah, it's really just kind of restarting from the beginning, bringing over the stuff I did like from the other one uh, to still be in this zoo. But I think this one just feels more right, I guess you could say, starting it over like this than what we had before. Um, so what we're really doing right now is I did put in essentially like the little pool right there in front. Uh, it Before it was just kind of cross essentially what would have been the street, and then at that point, you're basically kind of in the entrance plaza. Well, now I put the little lake right there, and instead of crossing the street, you cross over on a bridge that welcomes you to the zoo, essentially. And I am going to put in a parking lot for guests as well as for staff. Uh, that one will be in, like just kind of like before. I'm probably not going to do a whole lot of the detailing of that on camera. That's all going to be done off camera as we kind of go along in this zoo. And this go around for the zoo at least. But that's kind of where I'm going to take it as it stands now. This is just kind of fixing up the bridge for the zoo, and where I'm going to, before I had the statues and some of the planters out there. Well, you'll notice I have pulled those, and they will not be making a return this go around. I did kind of like them, so I might move them and put them in somewhere else. But for just right here, right now, it's not going to have them at this point. So I am fixing up the walkover, kind of like I said. That you'll see me build. It's essentially a sign announcing that, hey, this is a walkover for the Austin Zoo. And then it kind of leads you straight into it, which is what I like a little bit more. So this, I think, is going to end up, I think it looks better, and it just, overall, for me personally, it does feel better than what we had. So that's kind of what I was going with on this. So I'm going to kind of let the video take over, and you can watch some of the development of this entrance plaza, the new entrance area, and this new zoo kind of begin, and I will catch up with y'all here in just a little bit. So I will see y'all on the other side. And I am back here with you as we are working on what amounts to our education centers. Um, and really, these buildings, at least for now, are practically useless, not going to lie. Uh, the one is going to be, just about it's going to be basically like animals of Austin Zoo, and then there's another one for. Oh man, at this point, honestly, I don't remember. It's been a while since I kind of recorded these, but it is for educational purposes. So, in technically a fully functioning type zoo, this would be there to educate the patrons. Um, However, for my purpose, it's basically useless buildings. There's not going to be anything inside for the peeps to interact with or anything like that. But I did kind of like how this felt, especially with the wooden connections over it. It is a lot of brick at this point. So what I did is I did, put in for feedback into Discord to kind of get some feedback on what people thought. And so you'll see some kind of changes coming here to these buildings as far as uh, no, they're not so much the overall look of them really, but it does change. At least the top half goes from more of a brick to more of the modern wood type section for the top half of it, which I think feeds really well into the logs going across connecting the two buildings. Um, that did work out pretty well for me on that one. And then you see the first habitat go in. Now, it is a small one, and however, it is one that people are able to walk through. So, the animal that's going to go in there, I don't really remember off the top of my head which one is in there. But it is going to be a smaller animal that we have, kind of like the man. There's that one that looks semi like an armadillo type thing. Oh well, that's what's going to go in there. It allows people to walk through it, and so that's what I kind of use to draw it over or to draw people over to this section. Like I said, with this building essentially being basically useless, I had to get them over here somehow. So that's kind of the direction I went with it. So yeah, here we are just putting up the signs on top of the buildings. Ah, yes, zoo history in one section, in one side, and then animals of Austin Zoo on the other side. So that is what we have right now for it. That kind of help us open everything out, so that way people that come in they could get a feel for one, what animals they have available to go look at, where they want it to go, map it out, so you can figure out who wants to go see what, where you got to take the kids first, and all that fun stuff. Um, you'll notice there is going to be a lot of that green type color in here. I'll just say green is my favorite color, so it's going to be in there quite a bit. Just saying. Um, it was recommended that maybe change the color some. I tried to, and it looked kind of goofy for me. It's probably because green is my favorite color. Now that I think about it, that would make sense. So, ooh, oh well. Move on. Live and learn, right? So, this is some of the smaller detailing work on this building. These aren't really functioning, so as we get deeper into the zoo, you will see a little bit more detail being put into the functioning buildings that we have. And as I say that, you're about to see some buildings go in that are rather plain, right? So in the last Austin Zoo, had a staff village off to the side, kind of, it's in the front left, but it was pretty good distance off to the side. So right here, to separate out the zoo from the parking lot, I decided to go ahead and put uh, essentially what would amount to the little staffing area, pretty much right here. And I think it works best because it's right next to the entrance, so people coming in, staff coming in, boom, just walk right over there and basically go in and get to work, right? So that's kind of essentially what the thinking was in terms of putting it right here. Now, I did want it to go ahead and change the levels on some of these buildings, one, so it's not all exactly the same. Two, multiple level heights just looks better and feels better overall. So that's what we are putting in right now. As you'll see, I don't dress these buildings up very much. I do put in the signs for them just to indicate which one is which, but they don't really get dressed up all that much. And you will kind of see here in probably just a little bit. Um, More or less the finish entranceway plaza thing that we kind of have going out here right now. Just putting in a little fence border to separate the parking lot from, once again, the zoo to keep people out, basically, is what I was going for on that one. And the concrete layovers, I'm going to be doing that around the zoo, not in every place. Some of them are going to have different textures, but I will, at least for this entrance part, you will see a pretty good concrete floor structure going in. That just seems to make more sense. For a little bit bigger of a zoo, it's going to have a lot of concrete going down, especially in the entranceway. Now, once we get into start looking at habitats, yeah, expect that to change. And so that probably will going forward. I'm just putting in some of the foliage around this entrance so at least make it look a little bit better, to kind of hide the fence between the pathway and the peeps right there. And I do kind of like how it turned out. I think this entrance really suits us a lot better as we kind of go ahead and take a look of the walkthrough here and kind of see where this is at. And I really did kind of like it. These controls are a little bit difficult to kind of fuss around with, but I definitely think this looks a lot better. So that will do it for me as we go through and kind of finish looking at this entranceway. Remember to hit the subscribe button if you have not already. And if you do like today's video, go ahead and give us a thumbs up on it, as we really do greatly appreciate it, and it does help out our channel a whole lot. And so I will see y'all in the next episode of Austin Zoo. And as always, everybody, stay safe. And well, y'all know how it goes. Later, y'all.